Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Claire and this is Books and Seasons. This is a brand new channel, so what better way to start than with the booktube newbie tag. Let's get started. The first question is, why did you start this channel? I started this channel basically because I love booktube. I wish that I had discovered it earlier. I really didn't watch booktube until about a year and a half ago. And ever since I started watching booktube, I have considered starting my own channel. I was kind of scared for a long time and I made a lot of excuses, but I'm glad to be here now. And I'm just excited to be a part of the community. I think that's really what draws me in the most. And especially lately, I just feel like an urge to be able to talk about books with people who love them just as much as I do. I don't have too many people in my life who I can really talk books with. So that's why I'm really excited to start this channel. The next question is, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to booktube? So I guess what I would like to bring to booktube is having to do with what my channel is called, Books and Seasons. I tend to be really seasonally oriented, I guess, if that makes sense. I really tailor my activities, my aesthetics, and especially my reading to the seasons. When it's summer, like what's coming up, I want to read young adult contemporaries. I want to read summer romances. I want to read thrillers and horror that is set at summer camps, just those places that I really associated with summer feelings. So that's really what I look for in my reading, is just something that matches the season I'm in and the things that I find the coziest and that I really love about those seasons. The third question is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? And it definitely has to do with that seasonal reading that I just mentioned, but I think that I'm especially excited to really put into action a lot of the ideas that I've had while considering making a booktube channel. I'm most excited for fall and the fall content that I am going to put out. That's really when I come alive, especially creatively, and I just think I could put out some really good stuff. So that's probably what I'm most excited about right now. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? And I think that at the core, I love reading because it allows me to escape to other worlds. It allows me to learn about things or kind of secondhand experience things that I wouldn't be able to otherwise. It also can bring me back to feelings that I don't necessarily get to experience every day, but that I love to revisit, like falling in love. Just those everyday things that you just appreciate, and I really like experiencing those things through books too. I will say that a lot of why I enjoy reading too is because of who I was growing up. Reading was my identity growing up, and so reading now is kind of like reconnecting with my childhood self and just the roots of who I am. So that's another reason why I really love to read. So the next question is, what book or series got you into reading? And as a kid, what got me into reading were the Nancy Drew books and the Babysitter's Club. I, to this day, love mysteries and thrillers, which I can definitely see the roots of in my Nancy Drew reading. But the Babysitter's Club, I can also connect to my love for contemporaries today. But those two books were really what got me into reading as a kid, like where I would read a book a day. But I also want to say that there are some books that got me back into reading that I think are important to mention, because there were a few years where I was reading maybe 2 or 3 books a year, if that. And what helped me pick up my reading again were a couple books. The first one is actually one that I never see talked about on booktube, and that is The Idea of You by Robin Lee. It is a women's fiction / romance about a woman named Selene, who I think is 40 years old. She has a 13-year-old daughter who she brings to a boy band concert, and Selene ends up meeting one of the boys from the band and having this instant chemistry with him. And they kind of start off this romance. At first it's just sexual, and then it ends up like they end up falling in love. And that is a really fun part of the book, but I also found the book to be about a lot more than that. It's about motherhood, it's about women's responsibilities and whether our expectations for women are fair. It's about the stigma of women who are dating younger men. I just found it to be spectacular. It's to this day the biggest book hangover I've ever had, and it really helped me start picking up books like one by one rapidly again. Another book actually that helped me get back into reading is actually One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I think that I took a really long break from YA and YA contemporaries, and reading that really helped me understand how much YA has kind of changed and adapted to our modern landscape. It just made me feel like that, like the world that I read in One of Us is Lying felt like the world that I live in now and as a teenager. And it just really like stood out to me as a really refreshing update to the YA genre. And because of that, like I can see how that's so true in all of YA now, and just really appreciate that. So that's another book that really helps me get back into reading. So the next question is, what would you ask your favorite booktubers? And I think that as soon as I finish this video, I'm probably going to think of a better question. But one thing that I think I would ask is just what keeps them going with booktube. We all came to booktube because we like to read, but what keeps them interested after, you know, doing this for so long and probably having to find some motivation to keep making videos outside of just loving books. And I'd also be interested in asking about where they find their inspiration and how they come up with such creative videos. When I think of people making really creative content, I think of Chandler Ainsley, I think of Books and Lala, I think of Read with Cindy, I think of Chanel. So I think I would want to know, if there even is an answer, how they come up with those creative concepts and continue to stay inspired. But the answer is probably that they're just creative people. The next question is, what challenges do you anticipate having in starting this channel? I think that given how long it has taken me just to make this first video, I anticipate that when I do struggle, it will probably be to just have the motivation and even the confidence just to make a video. I have the ideas. I think it can be hard to be motivated and even to just like get yourself ready for a video and feel confident enough to do that. But I do have lots of ideas and I'm really excited. So I hope that I can, you know, push through that and continue to make videos on this channel. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm really excited to post more content, talk about my favorite books and books I've been reading lately, and I will see you again soon.